Well, hello and welcome to Understand Men Now. I'm your host, Jonathon Aslay, and I'm so excited to be shooting this short video for you today. The topic, the 5 white lies men tell women. Okay, so let's get real. We all know that lying is bad and nobody wants to date a liar because it's just hard to trust someone if they're habitually lying. And for the most part, most human beings don't habitually lie. I mean, certainly sociopaths do, and narcissistic behavior people do. And I don't want to get into the particulars of the why they do. But what happens in relationship, it's difficult to trust someone if they've lied. And here's the tricky part about lying is oftentimes we lie to spare someone else's feelings. And in most cases, those are called white lies. In other words, we're doing it to spare someone else's feelings. But I wanted to go deeper into this a little bit today because I think from a dating and relationship perspective, men in particular lie to themselves. And certainly this is true in midlife because midlife men, when they're actively dating, they're no longer, for the most part, seeking a wife. And when they're not actively in this seeking a wife kind of mindset, they're seeking maybe a relationship, but they don't know what that relationship is. So I think the first white lie men tell really to themselves first is that they want a relationship. Because there's uncertainty going on within themselves. And so when a man says, I want something casual, when a man says, I want something easy and that sort of thing, he's not coming from a place of certainty. He's not coming from a place of definitiveness. So many of his actions in that particular dynamic can create many multiple white lies because there's already uncertainty going on within himself. And while that's very difficult to kind of notice and monitor, I think, ladies, you have a sixth sense, you have an intuition. Start leaning into it more, start observing behavior, because that's going to give the clues of whether or not he wants a serious relationship or he's just in a space of what he doesn't know what he wants. And that's in and of itself, it's a white lie to himself. Now, some of the more common white lies men give is the concept that I'm busy. You know, when someone's busy, that's basically saying they have uncertainty about you. They really don't know what they want with respects to you. And because a man who clearly knows what he wants, he makes time for a person he wants to be in relationships with. So when someone says they're busy, it's usually the white lie to uncertainty. They just don't have certainty about you from a long-term perspective. That's one of the reasons why we date, to build that familiarity, to build that certainty within each other. That's why it takes about 100 hours of real face-to-face time in dating to really decide if you want to go to that next level of relationship and the next level of commitment, and then the next level of commitment after that. Okay, now here's one that some men do, and it's lying to themselves. But when we want to impress a woman, sometimes we spend money we don't have. We spend money we don't have because we want to impress you. So the lie in and of itself is that we have greater financial success than we're letting on. This happens a lot with divorced men that are going through alimony and child support and visitation, all that sort of thing. And in many cases, they're really strapped to a budget and we're trying to impress you, but we're spending money we don't have. So we're really lying to ourselves again. That's the white lie we tell ourselves on a subconscious level, not necessarily on a conscious level. Okay, here's a common one where when someone asks, certainly in the dating realm, this can happen after a couple, 2 or 3 dates where you might start talking about sex and start talking about sexual partners. I think both men and women lie about how many sexual partners they have, so they downplay that a bit. And that's really a white lie. I mean, white lies are still lies, okay? I mean, they're still lies, but I'm just saying when we downplay something, it's a white lie from the conscious perspective. And then lastly, speaking of downplaying, I think a common white lie is when people downplay their relationship with an ex, whether it's an ex-spouse or an ex-relationship. They want to downplay how how involved they still are with an ex-partner. Not everybody does this, but if they have a good relationship and they really appreciate that relationship, they often downplay it because we know that on some level that will trigger fear within you. And again, most of the time when people white lie, it's usually to avoid conflict. It's usually to avoid embarrassment and that sort of thing. So while these aren't necessarily the most common, these are 5 white lies, both we tell ourselves and to others, to navigate the early stages of dating, and mostly to try to create a more positive experience for both people. While it doesn't always work out that way, that's what I think the subconscious is trying to do in those particular cases. Okay, I think you got a gist of where I'm going. I'd like to hear your thoughts. Please post a comment below if this resonated with you, if you think it's rubbish, or if you think I'm just full of shit. Let's just hear it. I'd like to hear about it. If you find value in this video, I can tell you I have a fantastic group called Midlife Love Mastery, where we explore all kinds of questions that you might specifically have, where I actually shoot videos just like this for you in the private group. It's only $20 a month to be a part of it. You get tons of videos. You get a monthly Q&A call where you get to ask me questions directly over the phone. And like I said, I shoot videos answering your specific questions in the private face group we have. So there's a link right here below if you'd like to join Midlife Love Mastery. All right, I'm going to sign off this video as I always do, giving you a big, gigantic Jonathan bear hug if I have your consent. Aw, thank you. Wishing you a wonderful day. Thanks so much. Bye-bye now.